For 4 years, he was the untouchable strongman of Brazil, a president who mocked the courts, challenged the democratic system, and called his followers to a spiritual war against his enemies. This week, for the first time in history, Jair Bolsonaro sat face-to-face with Justice Moraes. Not as a president, but as a defendant in a landmark trial for attempting to overthrow the government. The world expected a showdown, a clash of titans, a defiant last stand. But what happened next shocked everyone. There was no fight. There was no screaming of injustice. Instead, Bolsonaro was quiet. He was cordial. He apologized. He joked with the judge. He called his own most radical followers poor wretches and crazies. So the billion-dollar question is, why? Was this a broken man finally admitting defeat? A genuine change of heart? Or was it the most calculated legal strategy of his life, designed to fool the very system he tried to dismantle? To understand what's really at stake for Brazil's democracy, you need to understand what was said inside that courtroom. And I promise you, the truth is stranger than you can imagine. The entire narrative of the trial hinged on this new, mild-mannered Bolsonaro. To Justice Moraes, he said, "A coup is an abominable thing. It was never even considered in my government." This, from a man who spent his entire career praising Brazil's 1964 military coup. The contrast was stunning. He dismissed his past inflammatory statements as just his rhetoric or his temperament. But the most surreal moment came when Moraes questioned him about a speech where he accused the justice of taking millions in bribes. Bolsonaro's response? "I have no evidence, Mr. Justice, so I apologize. It was not my intention to accuse you of any misconduct." He wasn't the only one. His former Minister of Defense, who once declared war on the STF, also apologized. His former Minister of Justice also apologized for attacking the voting system. It was a parade of apologies from the same men accused of trying to burn the system down. The prosecution's case centers on this document, nicknamed the Minuta do Golpe, or coup draft. Investigators say it was a blueprint to declare a state of siege and even arrest Justice Moraes to prevent President Lula's inauguration. When confronted, Bolsonaro admitted he discussed alternatives to the election result, but claimed he always stayed within the 4 lines of the Constitution. But his allies offered even more creative excuses. His former Justice Minister, Anderson Torres, who had a copy of the draft at his home, tried to laugh it off. He said it wasn't a coup draft, it was the Google draft, just some random document he found online. Other generals, like Augusto Heleno, claimed to have no knowledge of plans that, on paper, they were supposed to lead. Another, General Braga. Neto, when asked by Moraes if he'd ever been arrested before, laughed and said, "I'm in prison right now, President," to which Moraes dryly replied, "I know. I'm the one who ordered it." The entire defense was a chaotic web of denials and bizarre excuses. Cutting through the chaos is one man, Lieutenant Colonel Mauro Cid. Bolsonaro's former right-hand man, now the prosecution's star witness, who made a plea deal. Cide's testimony is the dagger aimed at the heart of the defense. He confirmed to the court that Bolsonaro personally discussed and revised the coup draft. He also testified that among the military chiefs, only one was on board with the coup plan, Admiral Almir Garnier. This creates a direct contradiction, as Garnier and the other military leaders deny everything. The trial has become Cid's word against the generals. Cid even revealed that the former army chief, General Freire Gomes, was so worried that he allegedly threatened to arrest Bolsonaro himself if he tried to go through with the coup. But Cid also gave Bolsonaro's defense one piece of good news. He testified that he never heard Bolsonaro discuss or plan the January 8th riots, which adds another layer of complexity to the case. So, after days of historic testimony, the instruction phase of the trial is over. The evidence is in. We've heard the apologies, the denials, and the accusations. Now, the lawyers will make their final arguments. There is no date yet for the final judgment, but the stakes are immense. If convicted on all charges, Jair Bolsonaro faces over 40 years in prison. He is already barred from running for president in 2026 due to other convictions. we are left with this final, perplexing image. A former strongman, known for his fire and fury, now presenting himself as a mild-mannered man who says it was all just talk. Is this a leader who genuinely sees the error of his ways, or a shrewd politician playing his last card to escape justice? As he himself said in court, he is now a card out of the deck. The Supreme Court will soon decide if that's where he'll stay. What do you make of this dramatic change in behavior? A real apology or a calculated strategy? Let me know your theory in the comments below. If you appreciate this breakdown of complex world events, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive. Take care, and see you in the next one.